word. Bring on some knowledge. I sound like my students now. Hello everyone, this is Danny, and today is a different look. If you watched my apartment tour, you'll know where I am right now. Or, well, if you see this pillow. I'm in my bedroom. I wasn't going to film this here, but January is the coldest month in my area of China. So we're in the bedroom, and if you can hear this whirring noise, it's my heater. I've been in the cold all day. I need some warmth in my life. So most of you can read, I know, so you already know what the video is about, but I'll reiterate it anyways. I'm going to go over ways that you can travel in China without knowing Chinese. Now, I mean like fluent level Chinese. I don't mean like, if you know some basics in Chinese, you'll be doing obviously a lot better here. I am not fluent in Chinese, however, I've been here for a little bit. I kind of know how things go. So, I'm gonna bring on some knowledge to you. If you don't know, that's Luhan in the back. But whatevs. My first big tip on how to travel in China without learning Chinese, ironically enough, is learning a few words in Chinese. So some things you should know, obviously, are ni hao. You should know one word in particular that will save your life. Jigga. Jigga. It means this. Most foreigners I've met say this is one of the words they learn first. And honestly, I still use jigga. I know some food words, but literally, like if I'm ordering food, I will just point and go jigga, jigga, jigga. That's it. You're good. They know what you want. A second thing you could know that will help you a lot is 我要. It means I want. So you can say 我要这个, like your next level beginner. Now my Chinese is terrible. Yours probably will be too if you don't know any Chinese at all. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to be understandable. That's it. So the three big things in Chinese you should know is 你好, 这个, and 我要. Once you've got that, you can kind of go around and do your touristy thing. If you're going to a specific place, I would highly suggest knowing its name in Chinese. Although some things, the local people know the English term for it, like the Great Wall of China, which I have not seen actually. I've been here 2 years and I have not seen any part of the Great Wall of China. Go figure. But like Great Wall of China, they'll know what you mean if you say that in English. However, if you want to go to a very specific mountain or a village, you should know it in Chinese, and better yet, even have it wrote down. Bargaining is a part of life here. I suck at bargaining, but it's a part of life. If you don't bargain, you're definitely overpaying for something. So knowing the numbers would be helpful. Now many places with a lot of tourists and all that will have a calculator, and they'll like do like a sale thing and tell you, oh, it's already on sale, but you can kind of use the calculator sometimes to bargain as well. Now on to tips that do not include knowing the language or writing stuff down. First one, plan things accordingly. If you are not very good at coming up with something on the fly or have not been in a country before where you don't know the language and you've been able to travel around and stuff like that, I would highly suggest planning stuff out. So how are you getting from point A to point B? Are you gonna take a taxi? Are you gonna take the metro? Are you gonna take this, that? How are you getting there? Plan that accordingly. There's one mode of transportation where you can get an app that's in English to help you buy stuff, which is, actually they've changed their name, Trip.com. It's an app on your phone. There's a Chinese version and there's an English version. It used to be called C-Trip, but they changed the name. I'm not sure why. But in this one, you can buy the train tickets. So you can buy the fast train and even slow train tickets. You'll just need to know the name of the city and the place you're going to. Other than that, it's perfectly fine. On C-Trip, you can actually connect an American card to it. I don't know if you can connect debit cards, but I definitely know you can connect credit cards. And you can select the currency you want everything to show up in. I've been in China a while. I kind of understand the RMB system. So I just keep it in CNY, which is Chinese yuan. You can also change US dollars, anything else. So whatever number system you need to help you figure out whether or not something's expensive or not, you can do it. However, with that though, you have to pick up a physical ticket. So if you get your train tickets on trip.com, I hate the name of that app. I'm like, it makes it sound like a website, which I'm pretty sure it probably is as well. But if you use trip.com, you have to pick up the physical ticket before. It's not like in America where I know some things are becoming like you can get it on your phone, you can just scan the screen of your phone. It's not that. You cannot do that. The machine to get into the train, you have to put in a piece of paper. It will read your ticket and then pop it back out. Remember to take the ticket, because when you get off the train and go out of it, you have to put the piece of paper back into the machine. Now, if you've gone through a big city, that might seem obvious, but I've never been on a train or anything like that in America before. In order to pick up your ticket, you will need your passport. Okay? You cannot get out of that. You will have to show them your passport. And for any other system, like if you're taking a long distance bus, have the name of your city wrote down and then just show the lady. They'll typically just give you the closest time for the bus. Taxis have the name, also have a map. Not all taxi drivers know where they're going. So that sucks. That terribly sucks. But you kind of have to realize Shanghai is an extremely large city. So they can't know everywhere. And if you're already in a city, you can actually use local buses, like the city buses. They're typically very cheap. My city, the buses are 1.5 yuan, which is like not even like 20 cents. Like that's so cheap. Like it wouldn't hurt you at all to just take buses instead of taxis because they'll be so much cheaper. Apple Maps works fantastically here. So if you get to your city, you want to look around, you can use Apple Maps to get through all of your buses. It's not 100% accurate, but I would say probably around like 92% of the time, Apple Maps is accurate. You might get lost. If you're anything like me and I'm directionally challenged as crazy, you're gonna get lost. Biggest tip, don't freak out. Just don't freak out. Freaking out is not gonna help you at all. In the lobby of your hotel, you'll most likely have like business cards at the front, and they will have the name of the hotel and its address in Chinese. I highly suggest you grab one of those so that if you're out and about, you don't know where you are, you don't know how to get back, your phone's not working or anything like that, you can flag down a taxi and then just show them the business card. So don't freak out if you get lost or you can't get back to your hotel or anywhere you need to go. Just have your business card, or have the hotel's business card. Having cash. China is like midway in between like really, really developed and not so much. Like in America, I know some people are now starting to get like card swipes for their phone so they can take your card there. Well, in China, they don't really have those for like street vendors and things like that. They have something called WeChat. And for WeChat, you can put money in there or you can connect a card. I think you can only connect a Chinese card, meaning if you're only going to be here for a little bit, there's no point in trying that. I mean, you're not going to be able to use it at all. So have cash on you. Only really bigger stores will take your credit card, and even then some of them still might not. So have cash on you. China is a really big cash society. It won't be a problem. In larger cities, I know they don't suggest you having large amounts of money on you. Really, in any place, you really shouldn't have large amounts of money on you. However, in smaller cities, in villages, they're typically quite safe, I would say. Like, I've never felt unsafe with my money in the smaller cities, in villages, in China. So if you plan to go see smaller areas, I wouldn't necessarily worry about having that much cash on you. Just don't show it to everyone and you should be fine. This is a really big one. I know a lot of tourists have issues with this. Don't expect English speakers outside of major transport hubs. So like the Shanghai railway station, the Beijing railway station, certain airports, they will have many, many English speakers. However, once you get out of that, some people will know some basics like very good, hello, things like that. I'm fine, thank you. It's the bane of my existence. They'll know very, very, very basic things. Things that you don't necessarily need them to know that won't help you in any way. So the best thing to realize is most people aren't going to speak English. And those who do speak English will typically come up to you and tell you they speak English and will try and practice with you. But other than that, don't expect English speakers outside of major transport hubs and extremely touristy areas. So you can get an app on your phone called Pleco. It is a Chinese English dictionary. So if you need anything specific, you can kind of translate it into the app. Now the first word that pops up isn't always the word they use in the local area, because the north and south of China use slightly different words. And even then, some people don't know like the word in Putonghua. They only know it in their local dialect in the south. I've come across that a few times. So it might end up being an issue, but just have a Chinese English dictionary on your phone and just be ready to Google and show people pictures if you need to get something. But other than that, your experience should be pretty great. Many people will take random photos of you. They do that a lot with foreigners. And they will try and be very, very helpful. Most Chinese people are very, very helpful. So even if they can't talk to you directly, they will try and help you. So if you plan to come to China, I hope these tips helped you. And if you have anything else to add, please leave it in a comment down below. And I will see you. Bye-bye.